I moved into the house during the winter. It stood alone at the far edge of a small forest where the road ended and the trees began. The place had been empty for years, but the rent was cheap, and I liked the quiet. Too quiet, sometimes. During the day the forest looked normal, tall pine trees, wind moving through the branches, birds flying overhead. But at night, the place changed. The darkness there felt heavier than in other places. The first week was peaceful. The second week, strange things started happening. Every night, at exactly midnight, my old digital clock in the bedroom would make a faint clicking sound before turning to 12 a.m. And almost every night, I would wake up at that exact moment. At first I thought it was coincidence. But then one night, something else happened. I woke up again when the clock changed to midnight. The house was completely silent. Then I heard it. Knock. 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 3 slow knocks on the front door. My heart started beating faster. I stayed in bed, staring at the ceiling, waiting for the sound to repeat. Nothing. I almost convinced myself it was just the house settling in the cold. Then it came again. Knock. 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 This time louder. I got out of bed slowly and walked into the hallway. The wooden floor creaked under my feet. The only light in the house came from the moon through the windows. When I reached the front door, I pressed my eye against the peephole. Nothing. Just the empty road and the dark forest. Still, the feeling that someone was standing there refused to leave. I unlocked the door and opened it slightly. Cold wind rushed inside. But the porch was empty. I stepped outside and looked around. The forest stood completely still. No wind. No animals. No sound. Then something strange happened. From somewhere deep inside the house, I heard another knock. 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 My body went cold. I slowly turned around. The sound was coming from inside the walls. Specifically, the hallway wall near the staircase. The previous owner had once mentioned something strange about that wall. He said the house used to have an extra room there, but it had been sealed decades ago after an accident. At the time, I didn't ask questions. Now I wished I had. Another knock came from the wall. But this time, something else came with it. A faint scratching sound. Like fingernails slowly dragging across wood. Then a whisper. Very faint. Very close. You heard me. I stepped back slowly. The whisper came again. You opened the door. I realized something horrible. The knocking at the front door had stopped the moment I opened it. And now, the knocking was coming from inside the house. Then suddenly, bang! The wall shook violently. Dust fell from the ceiling. Another bang followed. And another. Something on the other side of the wall was hitting it, harder each time. The whisper turned into a voice. Hoarse. Excited. Finally. Then the wall knocked back again. 3 times. In my village there is an old road that no one uses anymore. It runs along the edge of a field and disappears into the hills. People say that long ago a bus accident happened there. A bus carrying passengers late at night crashed during heavy fog. The vehicle rolled down the hill, and almost everyone inside died. After that night, the road was closed. But something strange remained. People who lived nearby started hearing the sound of a bus every night. Exactly at midnight. The low rumble of an engine. The squeal of brakes. And the metallic sound of doors opening. But when they looked outside, the road was empty. For years it remained just a strange story. Until the night I saw it. I had been visiting a friend in the next village and stayed later than planned. By the time I walked back home, the fog had already covered the road. My phone showed 11:58 p.m. The road ahead was barely visible. Then I heard it. An engine. Low and distant. At first I thought it was a car. But the sound was too heavy. Too slow. Then through the fog, two headlights appeared. A bus slowly emerged from the white mist. It looked old. Very old. The paint was faded and the windows were dark. The bus stopped directly in front of me. My phone buzzed in my hand. 12 a.m. The doors opened with a long screech. Inside the bus the lights flickered weakly. Rows of empty seats stretched into darkness. Except for one passenger sitting at the back. He was staring directly at me. His face was pale and completely expressionless. The driver spoke. "Are you getting on?" His voice sounded distorted, like two voices speaking together. I should have walked away. Every instinct in my body told me to run. But curiosity can be stronger than fear. So I stepped onto the bus. The moment my foot touched the floor, the doors slammed shut behind me. The bus started moving again. But something was wrong. The road outside the windows slowly disappeared. Instead of trees and fields, there was only darkness. Endless darkness. I turned toward the back seat. The man was gone. My stomach tightened. Then I heard breathing around me. I slowly looked to the side. A passenger was sitting next to me now. I was sure the seat had been empty before. His skin looked gray. His clothes were soaked. His eyes were open, but completely lifeless. Then I looked forward. Every seat was now occupied. Dozens of passengers sat silently in the dim light. None of them moved. None of them blinked. And every single one of them looked like they had died in different ways. Broken necks. Blood-stained shirts. Burned skin. The driver finally turned his head toward me. His face looked melted, like wax left under the sun. He smiled slowly. "First time on the midnight route?" My voice barely came out. "Where are we going?" The driver's smile widened. "To the last stop." I looked outside the window again. The bus was no longer on the road. It was driving slowly down a dark hill. And at the bottom, I saw the twisted metal frame of a bus. The apartment was cheap, which should have been my first warning. It was located on the 4th floor of an old building near the edge of the city. The place looked normal enough: narrow hallways, old wooden doors, flickering lights in the stairwell. When I signed the rental papers, the landlord gave me a strange look. Then he said something odd. "There's only one rule." I expected something normal: no loud music, no pets. Instead, he said, "After midnight, don't open the bathroom door." I laughed. He didn't. He leaned closer and repeated it slowly. "Whatever you hear, don't open it." I thought he was joking. For the first few days, everything was normal. Until the fourth night. I woke up suddenly in the darkness. My digital clock read 12:01 a.m. At first I didn't know what woke me. Then I heard it. Water running. From the bathroom. I sat up in bed. I was certain the faucet had been closed. But the sound continued. Slow. Steady. Like someone washing their hands over and over again. I remembered the landlord's warning. Don't open the bathroom door after midnight. I tried to ignore it. But the sound kept going. Minutes passed. The water never stopped. Finally, curiosity won. I walked slowly toward the bathroom. The hallway felt colder than usual. When I reached the door, I noticed something strange. Water was slowly leaking from underneath it. My heartbeat grew faster. I placed my hand on the doorknob. Then I hesitated. The water sound suddenly stopped. The silence that followed was worse. Slowly, very slowly, I opened the door. The bathroom was empty. The sink faucet was off. But the mirror above the sink was completely covered in fog. And in that fog, letters slowly appeared. Like someone invisible was writing with a finger. You opened it. The lights flickered violently. I stepped back. Then I looked into the mirror again. At first I saw my reflection. But something felt wrong. My reflection was smiling. I wasn't. Then it spoke. Without opening its mouth. Thank you. The lights went out. And when they turned on again, my reflection was gone. But something else was standing behind me. Breathing. Slowly. Waiting for the next midnight.